Hi, this is Darius Barzande, and in this short video, I want to share a little bit about Disincarnates and what I've discovered about them, and a book that I read that was truly profound talking about this. And a disincarnate is basically an earthbound spirit or energy, and we're going to be talking all about it. And if this interests you, take a look and hit subscribe. We have a lot of speakers and healers at UWealth Revolution live, and you can attend down below, that talk about this and also do energy work around it. And I've had quite a few experiences in this, so I'll share in a few videos. But a disincarnate is basically an earthbound spirit or entity. And when we think about a ghost story, that's a typical situation where a disincarnate could exist. And how does it happen? Well, typically, if there is a trauma around the death or the situation arising from the death of a person who lives on earth, there's a likelihood that that spirit may not leave the earth. It may stay bound to the earth. It may not go to the light. It also may be if the person had a really strong connection to something on earth, like a property or something they wanted to do, and the awareness and consciousness of that person is not able to let go even after the death process happens, then they can become earthbound. And so a typical example is, let's say a really traumatic accident happens somewhere on a road or somewhere, the spirit may stay there. Or if the spirit is really concerned about family members, or the spirit had a very strong attachment to the land. And during the death process, as the person dies and goes up over the, out of the head and over the body, there's still free will. There is that light there that we can go to. And many times there'll be relatives and there'll be people that we remember, like mother, father, maybe children. They're guiding us to the light. But if we don't go to the light, then our awareness, our consciousness, our energy can stay locked in the earth space and sort of haunt, as they say. Now, the thing about discarnates or earthbound spirits is they can hang around, and many times, because they're doing that out of something that is from kind of some of the lower energies. Very rare that they'll stay around very long for love, or because they worry about, let's say, a loved one. It's usually more around a traumatic situation, although they could stay around for a few days just to make sure somebody is okay. I mean, I felt like this happened when my mother-in-law passed. I could feel her presence in our house for about 2 to 3 days, and I remember talking to her very clearly and getting very clear messages back in my awareness of everything going on. But so if they hang around longer, it's usually because of a trauma or because something has really impacted them. Now, when they're hanging around, one of the things, if you read a really great book, or you want a great book to read, called The Unquiet Dead by Edith Fiore. She was a psychologist or psychiatrist, I can't remember which, but she actually did work with people who had multiple personality disorders. And what she discovered was, now this is not in every case, but what she was discovering in her work, that this is because of earthbound spirits, and that these spirits would attach to the physical body. And in doing so, they would, in essence, control the behavior or send impulses of behavior to that person. Now, when do they attach? Well, interestingly, according to Edith, from what I remember, it was when we were in a weakened consciousness state, maybe inebriated, maybe brokenhearted, maybe in a state where we weren't fully in our own normal actualized power. She talked about this in hospitals where they might be disincarnates. Let's say someone passes away in a hospital. Person's not sure what happened. Their consciousness remains. Maybe it's in a nightclub or an area where there's particularly low energy. If it's kind of a low vibe place, and there's drugs, all these type of situations where our consciousness is sort of let down. We're not really in our full power. We're not really who we truly are, especially in the case of mind-altering drugs or alcoholism and people with chronic sorts of situations like that. It's very easy to get an attachment of a discarnate. Now, is this true? Does this really happen? Well, according to a lot of people, it does. I'll share in a later video some stories of some hypnosis sessions that I've been a part of, where we actually removed something like 26 discarnate energies from a person. And some of these actually were in wartime as well. They had these attachments. And you can imagine if you're fighting in a war and you shoot somebody, and that person dies, and they see that you first of all shot them. They might be in shock, unsure as to what happened. They may also be very angry at some level for you for doing that, and may decide they're going to attach to your field. Now, this is not, again, in every situation, but these were some of the things that I saw in hypnosis sessions, and we'll talk about that in a later video. So if you enjoyed this or you like more content like this, you can click subscribe here. You can also like the video, click the notification bell. I'll let you know when I do one, and we've got live daily calls that you'll hear about right now. Much love. This is Jerry Sparzande, and if you'd like more of this type of content and live daily energy help, we have Monday through Thursday live daily energy calls with some of the world's greatest healers, teachers, and masters, where they will read your energy, answer your questions, and even provide deep one-on-one clearing help. And every day there's a brand new soul healing activation. You can find it all. It's 100% free. It's something we do for the planet, and it is the first link in the description. So join our live calls. They are amazing.